from what you eat, it shows who you are and your character and your background and everything about you.
Individuals are using social media, in particular Instagram, to tell stories about food and how they relate to food and whether or not that's changing their behaviour.
When we were reading about Christine's work on digital foodscapes, we were really excited about how that potential of that technology can transform food from now into the future.
First of all, we collectively identified key figures that are sort of different themes, different protagonists that are working in food and social media, and then I tried to interview people that fitted within those categories.
So we were hugely inspired by this hashtag food porn. It's a movement on Instagram, and how people are quite crazy about food and quite obsessed about food, and people are using as a tool to show what kind of person you are and what do you believe in and all that. From the research material and the conversation, we are currently creating a food fiction dining experience.
We wanted to think of a project where we could bring together the different aspects that we were interested in.
So we start off with food porn, which is the recent trend of very visual, colourful textures, assemblage of forms, sort of piles, constructed to be photographed, not necessarily consumed. It's all about eating with your eyes rather than even the mouth. We're looking at food politics, how the association with food forms identities. Started from Theresa May's constructed image around her political campaign with the cone of chips on the street, projecting this image of she's one of us, going beyond status. Try to take the humble potato and try and transform it in terms of what is the new narratives around potatoes and identity forming. And so in terms of the experience, the dining experience, and the guests are willing to have a go, a try, but we very much had some material experiments and trying to construct a new food using potatoes.
We went to interview Andre, who is a vegan bodybuilder and also trainer, nutritionist. He creates the vegan protein powder. What we found fascinating by this vegan bodybuilding is not scaring people off, but inviting into a new way of living and a lifestyle. There's another movement of this environment issue of deforestation, overfishing, overhunting of food, and the more you look at it, it's just like, okay, are we overpopulated then? Are we just too many people to feed?
The dining experience is a part of the research, isn't it? It is a user testing. So these are very just out of the studio kind of works. We're testing, we're recording, we're seeing what the reactions are in the discussion. So it's live research. It's a very interesting instinct that we have with food, naturally. So it's the perfect arena as a theatrical experience, a performative experience to share these ideas in a discussion around the meal. So we've constructed very much in a performative way the food, the dishes that are almost informed by the lens of social media sharing those dishes.
What things like Instagram are very good at is generating lots of noise around food. The idea that eating is problematic or we need to change the way we eat, but it doesn't necessarily give people the tools to change their diets or change the way they relate to food. This kind of meta-analysis of themes in food and Instagram is really interesting, and I don't think has been done before.